diving deep into the world of home building.
Yeah, getting behind the scenes.
And for this one, we're going kind of unique.
Oh, yeah.
We're focusing on abode construction,
Okay.
but we're doing it through their builder's own words.
Interesting. So we're not looking at like marketing materials or anything?
No, no, we're going deeper than that. Like,
Yeah.
what makes this company tick?
Yeah.
What can we learn about the whole process of building a home, like from someone who's really in the trenches?
I like that because it promises to be more authentic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't hold back.
Oh, really?
He talks about how exciting it is to see those client reactions, like when they see the finished house.
Oh, I bet that's got to be rewarding.
He says, it's a billion people's dreams.
Yeah.
Like for me here, it's actually exciting to just see their face and then just go, wow, this is amazing.
Hmm. That's powerful stuff. Like he's not just building houses, he's building dreams.
Totally. And do you think that kind of passion, like, translates into the actual quality of the build?
I'd say so. When someone's that invested in their work, it's bound to show in the details.
Right. It's like they're not just meeting the minimum requirements, they're going above and beyond.
Yeah, and striving for excellence.
And he actually touches on that too. He talks about that sense of satisfaction when the client is just blown away.
Makes sense. I mean, who doesn't love exceeding expectations?
Yeah, he loves hearing that, wow, this is unbelievable at the end of a project.
Yeah, it's almost like they're creating art. Like it's not just a house, it's something really special.
Definitely. And it sounds like that feeling extends to his team as well.
Oh, so it's not just him.
No, he talks about the company culture being very collective, like a real sense of mateship.
Interesting, like a family.
Yeah, exactly. And that's pretty different from a lot of builders who might focus more on just like efficiency or technical stuff.
So how do you think that impacts the final product, like having that strong team culture?
Well, he mentions that his carpenters get broad experience because they're involved in every step of the process.
Oh, so it's not just specialized tasks. They're seeing the big picture.
Exactly. And maybe that leads to like a higher level of craftsmanship when everyone feels ownership over the project.
It makes sense. When you're invested in the success of the whole thing, not just your little part, you're going to put in more care.
Totally. And another thing that stood out to me was how much he emphasized listening to the client.
Communication is key in any project, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He actually says, what's most important, I believe, is that you actually listen to the client to make sure that they actually do achieve what they want to achieve.
That's a great
He
point.
even says he wants to be able to have a barbecue with them after the project is done.
Wow, that's commitment.
Talk about building relationships, right?
Yeah, it's not just transactional. It's about creating a lasting connection.
And to make the whole process smoother. Abode construction handled everything in-house, like design, engineering, surveying.
So it's a one-stop shop.
Exactly. The client only has to deal with them.
That sounds super convenient.
But do you think that maybe limits the client's choices at all?
That's a good question because someone might have a very specific vision or want to work with their own architect.
Yeah, it's that trade-off between efficiency and like complete customization.
Right, there's no one right way to build a home. It all depends on the individual's needs.
And even with that all-in-one approach, he still talks about keeping costs down.
Well, that's always a concern, right?
Yeah, he mentions value engineering, like finding ways to achieve the same design, but more affordably.
That must be tricky, though, balancing those two things.
He says, I understand the way the house is put together.
Hmm.
I can actually say, we can build a bit more cost-effective by going down this way. We can actually achieve exactly what the client wants within their budget.
That makes sense because if you have that deep understanding of the construction process, you can find those creative solutions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're not just saying no to the client. You're finding a way to make it work.
But it's still important to be transparent with the client about those choices and trade-offs.
Absolutely. Communication is key throughout the entire process.
Yeah, so they feel empowered to make the best decisions for their home.
So it seems like with abode construction, it's really about more than just the technical aspects of building.
Definitely, they're really focused on the human element, the relationships, the passion.
And that brings us to a question for you.
All right, hit me.
If you were building a home, what would be your top priority?
That's a tough one.
Would it be the budget, the design aesthetic, the relationship with the builder, something else entirely?
And why would that be the most important factor for you?
It's something to think about because it really reveals what matters most to you in creating your dream home.
Yeah, what are you willing to prioritize and maybe even compromise on?
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of